I got a six-figure job before I ever finished high school with no diploma, no connection in less than 6 months. And if I had anything to say to anyone who's trying to do the same, this is my number one advice. And just to put it out there, this is not the best setting right now, but I did learn a thing or two that you can use. And this version of myself is going to be so much farther ahead than the version of myself that would have gone to college, because in 4 years I'm on a very realistic path to be high six figures, approaching the $1 million a year with the way that the trajectory is looking right now. And that's possible because of the wonderful industry of tech sales. Okay, well, I'm able to start at six figures as a sales development representative or business development representative when where I just be selling time. And I really recommend you to look into that more, because you're able to not only just start there, but there's also so many opportunities for growth for those who are top performers, because there's very clear metrics to grow there. And it's not even like you're just working a job to work. You're actually learning valuable skills that you will need for any sort of business, and will actually help you and with like your relationships with talking to people, with getting ahead in everything else that you do. Okay, so really just don't overthink it. Like, it's very easy to get into the research, and I used to do that a lot. I mean, that's what I did before I wanted to start a YouTube channel, just research and research and research. But I think that the best thing that I did before looking into tech sales was that I didn't even research that much. I just knew enough to know that this is something that I like, something that I can do. And I just went, I put like $700 into a course because it had a 2 weeks guarantee. And I knew that that's a crazy investment. And if anything, I can just ask for the money back before the 2 weeks is over. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I literally don't have anything to sell. But if you want me to work with you one-on-one, then check the link in the description. We can just come up with something for you, hop on a call real quick, and make an actionable plan for you to do the same thing as me. And so yeah, just don't overthink it. Just learn the basics and then shoot your shot. So I will give you some of the basics that you do need to know before you start. This is not going to be crazy in depth, but really quickly I'm going to cover the things I really recommend that you do start before your interview. So let's break it down. To get the job, you need to get interviews and you need to crush your interviews. Let's just make it as simple as that. So first thing, obviously just optimize your resume and your LinkedIn. If you don't have a good LinkedIn photo, that's going to be something that's really bad for you. And I think it's called Headshot Pro. That's a really good website that I would recommend. If you don't have a picture for yourself, that's an AI that makes professional pictures of yourself, makes profile pictures. That's super good for you. And then I definitely start with the resume first, and then you're able to put that straight into your LinkedIn. Just copy and paste it. You can ask ChatGPT to make it a little shorter. Okay, and then to get the interviews, there's two methods that you can do. One is from internal referrals, and you don't need to actually know the people. I'll talk about that soon. And the second is from reaching out directly to hiring managers and being creative to get their attention. Okay, so let's start with the internal referrals, which is what I started with, and I was able to get some good success with that. Definitely got most of my interviews through doing that and getting referrals. So when you go through a company's website through LinkedIn, you're able to find other people who are sales development representative or in the sales, maybe even account executives, which is a level above that. And then you can just message them on LinkedIn. You can connect with them and you can message them. And what I would just say is, hey, I was just looking at SDR roles at this company, and I saw you've been super successful here, so congrats on this, whatever they have that they posted that they did, or if they didn't post, just say congrats on the success. And yeah, I just love to connect before I officially throw my hat in the ring, before I officially apply. And then you see what they respond, and there's gonna be a good amount of people that actually respond. So I think like a 10% ratio is good. So if you send it to 50 people, you can expect 5 people to respond. You can hop on a call with them. Calls can literally be 5 to 10 minutes. Super friendly. Just try to be their friend. Ask them why they joined the company in the first place, how they're liking it, what the training is like, how realistic the quota is. And then you can, towards the end, kind of transition what I like to ask the transition is, okay, well, I really appreciate it. And is there any more advice that you can give me? And then they usually give you actually specific advice that is good. And and then after that, what you're gonna ask is, okay, so would I probably interview with John or Eric or just people that you're able to find on the LinkedIn that are the hiring managers? And then they'll give you specific advice on them, and then that's perfect after you transition to that. And then you can just ask, I don't, okay, perfect. I really appreciate everything, and thank you for taking the time to chat today. And I'm definitely looking to officially apply. I'll probably do that in the next couple of hours. I don't know if there is some sort of referral process that you'd be open to, but either way, I'm really appreciating this conversation. And then most of the time, sometimes they're going to offer you a referral before you even do that. And the reason for that is because they get money when they refer someone, so they want to do that. They get money when they refer them, and that it actually ends up being hired. So it's a win-win situation. It takes like 10 minutes when you're on the call, and once you get the internal referral, sometimes you don't even need to apply yourself. They apply for you, depending on the company. And then you're very, very likely to get the interview. Okay, so then once you prepare enough, you can crush the interview. That's how I was able to do it. Because if you just apply like to a random job posting, if you're 18, you're not getting the interview from that. The chances of that are so small. But even if you're older, there's hundreds, sometimes even thousands of applicants to one job, and the AI just takes out like 90% of the applicants based on the resume, especially if you don't have any prior experience. So you gotta be able to stand out, and the referral is a great way to get an interview. And I'll also recommend emailing them at the same time. So send them a LinkedIn message and email them. Some people are gonna like respond to the one that they actually check, and some people are gonna see the email, they're gonna open it, but they're not gonna respond, and then they're gonna see the LinkedIn. I was like, oh, that same guy, he really likes it. I really appreciate the effort, especially as salespeople where that's what you would do on the job, and they're just going to respect it, give you the call, and yeah, and then eventually with their phone. So that's definitely helpful. If you want to get their email, use this thing called Apollo. My camera is about to run out, so I'm gonna make it fast. Same thing pretty much with the hiring managers. After you message like 5 people, 5 other SDRs from the company, and nobody replies, if you can't get a referral in like a day or two, just apply to the job. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna message the hiring managers. You're gonna go on the company's website on LinkedIn, find a few hiring managers, and then you're gonna message them on LinkedIn and send them an email that you can find with Apollo.ai. Okay, and that way you're gonna be able to get, if you want to be even more creative, attach a video of yourself to the emails or to the LinkedIn messages, and you'll definitely stand out. Really make it super fast. You don't need to talk about yourself. Just say, I applied, I'm incredibly curious and interested in the opportunity. I'd love to see if we can maybe schedule some time to chat this week, or maybe have a first round officially. Okay, and then once you are able to get those interviews, that's going to come with a time, a week or two after doing it. You're going to get interviews consistently. What you need to do is be able to prepare for them. 3 main questions. Main one is, tell me about yourself. You want to keep that one under 90 seconds. Talk about your experience and your hobbies, where you're from, for about 30 seconds, and then tie it to sales. Say why you want to do sales. So for me, I'm originally from Israel. I've been here in New York for 6 years, and I say I'm a tennis player. This is my ranking. I also coach, and I'm super excited about sales. That's definitely where I see my career going forward. And then I talk a little bit of why. I will definitely touch on that more in other videos, and then connect it specifically to wild sales, specifically for them. Something that always worked for me was just saying, I love how competitive. Alright, well, the camera officially died, but I'm gonna keep going. Now I don't have to talk as fast. So what you can say is, I love how competitive but so team oriented the culture is. I gotta speak with John, and he told me a little more about it. And then you can also say, if you find something on YouTube that's really helpful, like I gotta watch these videos on YouTube of the team and how competitive but so encouraging they are to each other. That's really going to help as well. And then also tied to the growth opportunities, because you are looking to advance in the company. You're not looking to stand as they are. They're looking for someone who's hungry to grow, because that means they're going to work hard. Okay, so that's the number one question. You got to be able to have that dialed in, work on that, get it under 90 seconds. Okay, and then the other two questions that are going to come up all the time, they're going to be why sales and why their company. But if you're able to combine all of those to the tell me about yourself, you're going to save the burden of the interviewer from asking you those questions, and then they will thank you for that because you're making their job easier. Before they even asked it, you answered it. And that way they're gonna be able to connect with you on a deeper level, because at the end of the day, the people that actually pass the interviews are the people that connect with the interview on a deeper level, the people that left a better impression. And that's not always with the answers that you had for the questions, and it's not always with the experience that you have on the resume. Those things are going to be very, very important. Okay, and yeah, after that, when you pass those first initial interviews that are just the conversations, they'll eventually test your writing skills and your cold calling skills. And one thing actually that I forgot to mention is another way to stand out and to get the interviews, also just cold call them. So what you can do is you can use Apollo.ai. They have a free trial on there, but it's definitely worth an investment of a couple. I think it's $60 a month eventually after the free trial, but it's so worth it if you're gonna get a six-figure job from it. It's not even a question. And so yeah, you can do that. You can cold call them. Just search up on YouTube cold calling hiring managers for tech sales. There's gonna be something that come up, but very soon, if there is a tutorial on this channel that I put it right here, it will be in the guide that I post shortly. And yeah, that's another way to get the interview. Um, and then at the end of every interview, you want to ask them, and you want to thank them. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I got to learn more. And I'm really excited about the next steps and be able to continue in the process. Is there any concern that you have about moving me to the next stage? And that's going to show them, it's going to, if sometimes they're going to be honest with you, they're going to be like, man, you don't have enough experience, so I'm kind of concerned. And then you can talk about it. You'll be like, I know I don't have direct experience, but I did do this thing, and I'm also an athlete, so I learned super fast and I'm very coachable. And I did this training, and I also did a lot of research on myself on YouTube. I've been able to practice cold calls, and I'm super ready to hit the ground running and ramp up as fast as possible. And I'm confident I can do it, whatever. And if sometimes there's just gonna be no one, just schedule the next interview right there until you they'll get back to you, and then you move on. Eventually, after you move on from those rounds consistently, what's going to happen is that they're going to test your writing and your cold calling skills, like I was saying earlier. So for your emails, they're just looking for your ability to conduct research. Okay, so you can use ChatGPT for that, and you can always use their website. That's the best thing. Look at their testimonials, and then from those testimonials, use that and write it as if you're writing to a competitor of that company, and you just have a very logical explanation for every single sentence that you write, why you write it, and go for it. Ask at the end there, ask, does it make sense? To go, okay, just be ready to explain why you wrote everything in the email. There's gonna be templates included soon in the ultimate guide that I do. I don't want to make this video too long because, like I said, you don't need to do that much research before. All you really need to do is watch that one video that I'm gonna make. It's gonna be like 2 hours long, and then you're gonna be ready to apply for the jobs and get it. And for the cold calling, they're not looking for you to be an expert. They're not gonna give you that many objections. They're just gonna test and see if you get nervous when they ask you. They're gonna see what your tone sounds like when you talk. Are you mumbling? Are you fidgeting a little bit? Okay, they're looking for you to be able to calm, to be composed, maybe even laugh a little bit while you do the cold call, because that's general tip for sales, super good. And they're looking to see if you keep trying, and then what they're gonna see is they're gonna give you feedback and tell you to go again. So they're just looking to see how well you're able to adjust on that feedback. Yes, so I want you to promise to me that you're gonna give yourself a deadline of 1 week of research before starting to apply. And to be honest, you don't even need a full week. All you need is 2 hours of deep, good conducted research to be able to understand the language, understand the expectations, and then all you need to do is just take action, optimize your resume, optimize your LinkedIn, and have those messages uh, customized to you to be able to reach the people, and you're gonna build a sequence on Apollo, more on that later, to reach out to all those people, and then just start crashing it. Okay, you're gonna start doing it, and you're not gonna do good. So right now, grab it, post it, put it on your calendar, put it on your wall, whatever you need to do, and in 1 week you're going to start applying to jobs, and you're not going to look back. You're just going to keep going, and you're going to keep pushing. It's going to take you a few weeks. You're going to get so many failures. You're going to get so many no's, but all you need is one yes, and that can actually change your life so much. Okay, if you do want my help, and you can book that link to have a conversation. I can help you make those messages. I can help you prepare whatever it is that you need. If you have any questions, just let me know. And yeah, so that ultimate guide that I was mentioning, that's gonna come up very soon. I'm super excited for that. That's gonna be right here on the screen once it does come out. But until then, there's gonna be a point where you have a conversation with someone, with your parents, about not going to college, about doing this. So I recommend you also watch the video that I just made about the conversation I had with my parents here.